Thanks.
So we want to welcome everyone. This is our second episode. Welcome to Say It Sag. I'm Brittany,
And I'm Dory.
and we just here gonna bring y'all into a little conversation that we always have. We got our wine, so get your wine, get your tea, get whatever you want, and let's just enjoy.
Drinking and thinking. Drinking and thinking. Yes.
Mhm.
Collectively, we
Definitely.
just talk about things on a day-to-day basis, life to life, moment to moment. And we have a lot of conversations that we feel that people would be intrigued to take part of and learn from, as well as just here for just entertainment purposes. That's why I said, baby, humble beginnings, honey. Because 10 years from now, we'll be on the real stage like Oprah and Barbara Walters. God rest her soul. Yes. Yes. And God rest Tina Turner, bless her heart. Because, baby,
Ah,
fellow Sagittarius, we all know that she was one of the best Sagittarius to ever be a part of this thing called life, honey. Overcoming adversity and still staying true to what it was that she was meant to do. And that's live her life. Live her life.
yes, I was heartbroken.
But
Mm.
they say, baby, if you can live after trauma, then you've succeeded in being a warrior. So living after trauma is the number one thing to do, especially when something's meant to take you out.
Mm.
So one of our topics that we were talking about, Brittany and I were discussing, was attraction versus compatibility, and what it really means to be drawn to something, but it may not be best for you in the long term or just on the overhead side. That number one phrase, attraction versus compatibility, can go as far as jobs, can go as far as how you want to live your life, as far as like home ownership or relationships. But the number one thing was really relationships. So a lot of things that we're attracted to when it comes to like how we view people, and if you say you're attracted to athletes and then you do decide to marry somebody that's a professional athlete, can you really be compatible to expect him to be hands on with the household, as far as like being there for family get togethers or doing things that you might wish a significant other would do? So then you go back into compatibility, how you want your family to be raised, because a lot of times we don't realize that we think differently until you really get into the boat of how long are we going to plan on being together.
And going back to what you said about the athlete, nowadays, if you wasn't there from day one, that is not going to be compatible. It's a seek and ye shall find.
Come on, come on, come
It's
on.
oh, I done came up. So I mean, if that person wasn't there when that athlete was just starting or been doing it, that it's not going to be compatible. I feel that way.
Hmm.
That's my opinion.
And then hence why I heard Andre 3000 made a comment about finding somebody when you have the less is really going to be something that you can really see. Are they there for you? Are they there for
Yeah.
what you can provide and what they can, actually bring to the table? Because a lot of times, the elders always say no romance without finance. And there was a lot of things that people looked at from the perception of how are you actually going to come to the table? With just your mouth? Are you coming with some sides?
Mhm.
Like Brittany said at the gathering she had out of town with family reunion, if what you don't have, you can find a way to give. But once again, it's all about being compatible to understand if I don't have this, I do have this.
Right.
Not just coming and say, oh, I'm attracted to you. You work hard, but then you're dealing with somebody that barely wants to keep a job.
Hmm.
Or you have someone that wants to go shopping, but they don't want to pay the bills. It's always a balance in what they're capable of doing. Whereas personalities, because some people, they have someone they're with that is really good at planning and executing, and then they're in the background feeling like, what can I bring to the table? So it's always compatibility. Is why you see someone like Angela Bassett and Courtney Vance. It's good to have somebody that doesn't mind being a supporter while she's the star.
Right.
because they're both actors, but she is more successful.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have to know what your role is and how can you, be of support. And then
Mm-hmm.
you go into terms like compatibility of jobs. A lot of people are employed at places where they know they don't like people. And they're working there and they're wondering why they don't get a raise or why they don't get any type of, a good feedback from the, the supervisors because it's compatibility. You might have interviewed well, but then again, you're not executing well.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
The sister said, mm-hmm. And I go even further, Brittany.
Love it.
Compatibility of drinking, compatibility of like socializing. We see a lot of people that go out that do not want to, be engulfed and having a good time. They're sitting back mad at people that's coming to have a moment of life. Or like if you're coming to a wedding and you don't believe in love. Sometimes if your personality, the favorite movie of my mom was The Grinch, It Stole Christmas. You can't invite somebody that's always mad
Mm-mm.
because all they're gonna do is just make everything more stressful for everyone else.
They are. It's gonna be a bad time. Been there, done that.
Yes, because you're always wondering, are they okay?
And I've been one of the persons that was like that. Had a whole attitude, knowing I should have been at home. So now that's what I do. I'm like, I don't feel it. I'm just gonna stay at home because I already know it's gonna show on my face. So
It's best
stay
to
where I
save
need to
yourself
be.
some sanity. Yes, save yourself some sanity.
And those others, because they don't, the other people don't deserve that.
They don't.
They there to have a good time, especially people that's throwing the party or throwing the event. No, grow up.
Selectively choose your placement.
Right.
So with that being said, like we said about the compatibility, we both are give you a little insight. We are in our I wouldn't say golden years. We're in our flirty years. I would call the the 30s are your tasty years because you do taste more, I think, than you 20s is trying it, 30s is tasting it. I'm gonna coin that because when you taste something, you can feel the full flavor of it. So we are some women that have worked at places where we've grown as individuals and found out things about life as well as ourselves. And we are mothers. And like I said before, we're both zodiac aware. So we're both Sagittarius, and she's the sweet, prissy, pretty November Sag. Like Tina Turner was. Tina Turner was so humble. That's one thing I did admire about her. She was November 26th. She was a graceful, and that's what Brittany is. She's very graceful. On the other hand, and working on grace, I can be a little bit non giving a damage, but she inspires me to have a little bit more grace and polish. But we appreciate all zodiac signs. So when this segment we have is just really about us saying things that come to our colorful mind. It's not about saying it's the right way. It's just our way, and we're open individuals that want to just like most people that say they enjoy life, trying to figure out this thing called life and just having collective questions and collective, thoughts behind what it is to be an individual in this whole, rodeo called life because it's so many things we think about, but we don't ask. But I used to always hear my grandmother say, she said, there's no stupid questions, only people too stupid to open up their mouth and ask. So we're
Mm-hmm.
asking all questions, turn over all coins, pulling back all shades, airing out all differences, all of that kind of stuff. So,
Because I want to know the what, the why, the when, the how. I want to know it all. I told myself a long time ago. Well, it wasn't a long time ago, maybe about a couple of months ago. But I'm like, look, I'm gonna ask questions. I am not gonna sit back and just let it go, let it slide. Nope, you're gonna have to tell me. Tell me what's
mm-hmm,
going on.
mm-hmm,
Tell me why. When.
mm-hmm,
What happened. I
mm-hmm.
want to know it all. So.
Because even in school, they teach you, to seek in order to find understanding or to get, some kind of hope of trying to gain insight to things. And
Mm-hmm.
like this topic we had this time about the attraction versus compatibility, it's like you have so many things that you're drawn to, but then if it's not meant for you, as far as like, if you're attracted to certain religions, and you find it's not for you, take for instance, Scientology or anything that people do, if it's not for you, then you have to find something that's comfortable for your growth. Because if they take plants and they take them out the soil and put them in different places, it's because they might have been planted somewhere, but you can't grow there. You might have grown up in a family where they didn't believe in divorce, so they didn't believe in, you know, moving in with somebody before you got married, or hey, they didn't believe in even switching jobs. You get that job, you work that job till you die.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you have to find something that makes you thrive as an individual, because you can be better for yourself, better to your family, better to to the just the existence of life.
Hmm. And being attracted to something, you're not always attracted to good things. And so you kind of have to kind of like step back and be like, "Woo, it look good, but I don't need it." Just like my daughter, she like when I make her pasta and everything, but she lactose, and she be
Hmm.
like, "Well, I know I'm gonna pay for it, but I'm gonna eat it," because
Hmm.
she's attracted to the look, the smell, the taste of it, but it ain't no good for
Hmm. It comes with a downfall. It
her.
does.
Mhm.
It does.
Mhm. Yep.
Hence, paying attention to what is healthy for your development, not what feels good in the moment. So, our
Whew.
segment,
I'm gonna sip on that
yes, say it, Sag, is about saying it
one.
and uh and playing with it and laying with it, because all these thoughts we think about
And owning
thoroughly,
it.
hmm
Mhm.
and not being afraid to sit there and go the distance with that thought. So, comment, like, subscribe, and just give us your thoughts about the things we've chosen to just air out
Mhm.
in this essence of life. Cheers. Sipping and thinking.
Yes.